Hey everyone, I am Joel Bomgar and I am here with Judson, and we are going to set up the new Bitkey 2.0, the new version that's got a screen on it and it's got a bunch of cool new features. I've done a video where I set it up with Christina and she did it 100% herself with no guidance whatsoever in 6 minutes. That video is the original Bitkey. And then I also have a detailed 30+ minute, 38 minute, maybe long video with Ali Shaw where we go step by step. So go watch that one if you want screenshots and the whole works. This is not gonna have a bunch of screenshots, but this is just gonna be the basics to get Judson set up and give you all the experience of the new version of Bitkey. Okay, so we start by tearing the security thing on the side, which opens up the Bitkey box. Push that out of the way. Here is the Bitkey box. And this is the new Bitkey. You will notice on the front of it, it looks exactly like the old one. But on the back of it, it has a screen. And so the screen allows all sorts of new stuff. We will get back to that momentarily. Underneath here is all the usual stuff, which is a power cable and all of the instructions. The only thing you really need on the instructions is the QR code where you scan it to download the app. So Judson, we are going to scan that. Now, that QR code typically requires you to be 18 or older.
Okay.
So go ahead and click on it, and we're going to download the app. All right, and he is launching the Bitkey app. Now, the Bitkey app is going to ask him whether he wants to set up a new wallet or restore an existing one. We, of course, are going to set up a new one. So click Set up a new wallet. And then it says, set up your Bitkey. Tap the fingerprint sensor to wake up your device and scan it with your phone. Okay, so you should be able to, you hit Let's Go here. There we go. You hit the button, which activates the QR code, sorry, the NFC, Near Field Communication reader, and you touch it, and it says to tap the fingerprint reader. Okay, review on your Bitkey. Follow the instructions on the device. Tap the fingerprint sensor. So you can do whatever finger you want on here. It's probably easiest, are you right-handed?
Yeah.
Okay, it's easiest to hold it and use your fingerprint, your pointer on the fingerprint reader. So just hold it and then put your finger on the fingerprint reader. Okay, now this process, just keep doing that over and over and over.
Okay.
With different parts of your finger. And what he's doing is he's just like when you're setting up an iPhone with the fingerprint reader, you're just touching it a bunch of times so it can read all the different parts of your fingerprint. And you're just putting it down there. It's slowly filling in the little gaps until the fingerprint is fully formed. It just wants to scan it a bunch of times. And then it will tell you when it's done. Okay, continue on your phone. So we are going to log back in here and we're going to click continue. Once again, it wants to scan. So this device says continue on your phone at this point. So you go back and forth between the device and your phone. You scan it and it says done. Okay, so now it is creating an account. Now it is going out to his Apple iCloud account. It is setting up an encrypted copy of the Bitcoin key. And it says back up to iCloud. Sensitive data stored in your iCloud is encrypted and only accessible with your Bitkey device. So it's going to put a Bitcoin private key. One of the keys to the Bitcoin will go in Judson's iCloud account, but it's encrypted and only can be decrypted by this. So if a hacker got control of his iCloud account, it wouldn't even matter. Okay, and it's also going to put an emergency exit kit. So you'll see on here, it's going to tell you what it's going to do. It's going to put the app key in his iCloud account, but it's going to be encrypted where it can only be decrypted by the Bitkey device. It's also going to store an emergency exit kit on his phone. This explains how to get the Bitcoin if Block, the company that's behind this is made by Block. They make Cash App, they make the Square payment terminals, they make a bunch of stuff. It's a Fortune 500 company, and they make this awesome little device. But, so this is going to back up this to the cloud, but if the company goes away completely, 100% poof, the app's gone from the App Store, the company disappears from planet Earth, there is a process you can still move the Bitcoin just with this device and your phone, and it explains how to do that with the emergency exit kit, which is going to get stored on his phone. All right, so it's going to back up. It says loading, saving backup, and enter his email address. So it should autofill, just type it. He's going to enter it. It's going to use his email, and ultimately it's going to use his cell phone number as well to create a backup mechanism in case So yep, do that. And then it sent a code to his email. So go check and just copy and paste the code from his email. The reason it wants your email address and your cell phone number is as a backup mechanism. So if you need to recover your Bitcoin and it needs to prove that you are who you say you are and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so he has entered his email address. He's going to click continue, and it wants to verify it on the Bitkey device. That way you make sure that there's no no hackers in between. So it actually shows, I'm not going to show it to you for privacy reasons, it shows his email address on this device so that you know that nothing's in between, hackers have not somehow redirected it to a different email. It literally shows. So as long as you can verify that that's yours, we check the little check box. Actually, we hold it down. You have to hold it down to confirm, confirmed. You basically hold your finger on the screen for about 3 seconds and it confirms. Now it says continue on your phone. It says review on your Bitkey. Confirm action on the device, then click continue. Every time you hit continue, it pops up with the NFC, near field communication reader, and then you touch it to your phone. And it says done. Okay, so next up on here, this device, whenever it's waiting, it just says ready, meaning it's ready for the next action. So enter your phone number. All right, so Judson is entering his phone number. Again, it's gonna send him a code. In a recovery scenario, if there's, if you need to prove like you lose this device or you lose your phone or you lose both of them and you need all of that, it can prove that you still have access to your email and your phone number. Okay, click continue. Once again, it's going to confirm it on this device. So now it shows his recovery phone number. So verify that that's correct. Then hold it down 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi to confirm, and it's confirmed. Again, every security thing, now that this thing has a screen on it, if you have the old Bitkey, don't worry about it. The old one's just as good. They just put a screen on here because people wanted a screen, but the old one is just as secure. But anyway, all right, so we're gonna now confirm his phone number now that it's been confirmed on the device and the Bitkey itself, and now it's setting up. All right, and set up recovery notifications. You definitely want to allow notifications. That way, if a recovery process is happening, you know it's happening and you always wanna know. Notifications and update for transactions, you want that turned on. For Bitkey updates, learn about new Bitkey features and easily send customer feedback. You don't need those on. Okay. Do you like updates or not updates?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Okay, you turn them on later.
Okay.
The important things are on by default regardless. One more tap to create your wallet. So now it's going to actually create it. Once again, NFC reader is activated. We touch it to this, which is always sitting in the ready state when it's ready to be activated. We touch it, and there it says, your wallet is ready. All right, so now his wallet is ready. He can do a couple things on here. One, I'm gonna go ahead, the most important thing, which it should tell you to do in here, if you go look in this here, you'll see in the bottom right corner, you'll see there's a little orange dot over the security hub. And that security hub shows the things that need to be added. The number one most important thing is a recovery contact. So you can add a recovery contact. This can be one of your friends. It can be it can be your dad. It can be anybody. We're going to do the other items first, though. We're going to update the firmware. So you'll notice if we try to scan it, and it says device locked. So if you try to scan it when you don't have when it's not unlocked with the fingerprint, you'll get that screen. Okay, so hold it and unlock it with your fingerprint. Just put your, okay. As soon as Judson holds it and unlocks it, it says ready. Again, you can do this with the easiest thing is your right pointer or your left pointer, whichever one you hold it in. And that's the easiest way to do it. Okay, so now that it's unlocked, he can scan it. All right, it says update, so go ahead and hold that down. Hold it down, 2-second hold, and it starts the update, and it says, okay, we're gonna activate. It says ready to update, 20%, 30%, 50%, 70%. Anyway, it's updating the firmware, which is the software on the Bitkey device. Always good to have your software updated to the latest. Update 1 of 2 complete, continue update. Okay, now we only have 2 recommended actions. Biometric login, which is Face ID. We're gonna go ahead and do that to enable Face ID. Okay, now it says ready. Now Face ID can be enabled. Success.
Okay.
And now it gives you the option to allow Face ID. So now it's enabled, and Face ID is enabled on this device, which means nobody can just pick up his phone and figure out what his Bitcoin balance is. Okay, now you'll see we're down to one last action at the very top, which is the recovery contacts. I'm going to go through the process on here of what it looks like to do a recovery contact, although we're just going to cancel out the one we actually stick in there because I'm going to stick myself in there, but we're just going to cancel it out. So a recovery contact is only used if you lose your phone. In fact, I'll let you read this. See if you can make it focus on it. A recovery contact is used if you lose your phone and your Bitkey device simultaneously. If you just lose your phone, you can put the key back on it with the Bitkey device. If you just lose the Bitkey device, you can put the key back on it with your phone. But if you lose both of them simultaneously, mean no phone, no Bitkey device, they're both lost, which should never happen because the Bitkey device should either be securely somewhere at your house or wherever, whatever, or if you have more than, let's say, $50,000 of Bitcoin on it, it ought to be in a safe deposit box at a bank. So it's harder to get to, and somebody can't show up at your front door with a gun or something like that. But anyway, but a recovery contact is used in situations where you lose both of them, because if you lose both of them, then your email and your phone could be hacked, and they have to know that someone can verify you are who you say you are, and that is what your recovery contact does. The recovery contact allows you to unlock the key that is in the cloud of your iCloud account. So once they prove that, they give you a key. The key allows you to unlock the Bitkey key that's in your iCloud account. Sounds complicated. It's not. It's super simple. You don't have to worry about it. But anyway, the process is you're going to add a new contact. In this case, I'm just going to call it test because we're going to delete it anyway. Save test as a recovery contact. Adding a recovery contact requires you to tap your Bitkey device since it impacts the security of your wallet. So we're going to save the recovery contact. Can you activate that? Because it is locked. All right. Success. And then it is going to review on your Bitkey. It says add a recovery contact named test. Go ahead and hold that down. And once that is done, I have to verify on here again. And then it will let me send the link. Finally, invite the contact, who's called test, to be your recovery contact. And then it lets you share the invite. So the final piece of the puzzle here is that you will share a link on email or text message or whatever with the person who's going to be your recovery contact. If the person has their own Bitkey device, they will need to touch their Bitkey device to their phone to become a recovery contact. If they don't have their own Bitkey device, then they don't need to do that. They just need the mobile app. So we can figure out later who's the best, person. Yeah. In this case, I'm going to exit out because we're not going to invite, test. In fact, we're going to go in here and remove recovery contact. Okay. Now, in order to remove it, again, it requires, go ahead and unlock it. It requires an unlocked device in order to remove the recovery contact, because hold it down on there. 2 seconds hold. It does a really cool symbol. And then we're going to scan it one last time to confirm. All right, so that is that. So on the recovery contacts, you can add a new contact, and then also if you're protecting other people's wallets, meaning you are a recovery contact for them, it will show you. So back here on the security hub, you will see that everything is configured properly except the recovery contact. Now, if you have meaningful amounts of Bitcoin on a Bitkey, you need a recovery contact. You should never lose this and your phone at the same time. But scenario could happen, right? You go to the Apple store to get a new iPhone. You turn in your old iPhone and they wipe it clean. That means the key on it's gone. While you're gone, your house burns down with your Bitkey in it. So your Bitkey is gone. Now you have simultaneously lost both of them at the same time. Not a problem if you have at least one recovery contact. If you have one recovery contact, you reach out to them, you get a new phone, you get a new Bitkey device, you go through the setup process, and it's going to say, I need a key from your recovery contact to unlock the key that is stored in your iCloud account, because the one in the iCloud account is encrypted. If it wasn't encrypted, then a hacker who got access to your iCloud account could potentially compromise. So it needs that key from the other person to verify it's you. Now, it's super cool. In the process, in their Bitkey device where they're going to give you the key to unlock the Bitcoin, it'll ask you how you're communicating with them. If you tell them, you're on the phone, it'll say that's not secure. You need to be on live video. If you tell them it's by text message, they say that's not secure. They will not give you the code unless you mark that you are in person with, like in person in real life with the person and can verify their identity, or that you are on a live video call with them and can verify their identity. So it's super cool. So we'll set up that later because you can figure out who needs to be that. Again, if it's somebody without a Bitkey device, they don't need a Bitkey device. If they have a Bitkey device, they will have to touch it to the back of their own phone, not your phone, but their phone, just to store it. Because if they have a Bitkey device, it means their Bitkey app is not just a recovery app, it's actually serving a more formal purpose. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do here is you hold that.
Okay.
And actually, since my phone is being used to record, I can't send you Bitcoin, but I'm gonna send you Bitcoin as soon as we get off of here. I will send you $100 of free Bitcoin as a thank you for doing this video. FYI,
Okay.
new information.
Thank you.
So I will send that to you as soon as we are off the phone. Now, this is the interface. I won't show it because it is a Bitcoin address. It says this is your Bitcoin address. Also, if you want to verify, go ahead and unlock that. If you want to verify a Bitcoin address to make sure that some hacker hasn't like gotten man in the middle or whatever, which again is not something you have to worry about, you can verify it on here. And the Bitkey device itself actually shows. I'll only show you part of the. Actually, I'm not going to show you part of the address for confidentiality reasons. But it shows the Bitcoin address on the phone, and then it shows the same address on the Bitkey device. So if you're moving around lots of Bitcoin, people sometimes are concerned, like, how do I know that the address on the phone has not been like hijacked? First of all, it's the Apple App Store. Nobody's hijacking it. But for those who are paranoid, guess what? You can compare the address on here to the one actually on the screen of this device, and this device never lies. So, you can verify before you move huge amounts. You also have the ability to link this with Robinhood, Coinbase, or Cash App and make it super easy. But again, if you look at those addresses will match up perfectly, and you know that like nobody's like, somehow gotten in the middle of it. Which again, not something you need to worry about, but this is intended to be like something that just makes it better for everyone. So as soon as we get off the phone, one other thing I'll talk about as well. Again, you can add Bitcoin, you can purchase more Bitcoin. It is free to add more Bitcoin. The other alternative is your transfer settings. If you want to set it up where you can move Bitcoin around without the need for this device, you can set a limit. So in here, if you customize the transfer settings, you can spend up to a daily limit without your Bitkey device. And I'll show you what that screen looks like. You basically set a daily limit. And what that means is this device will allow the sending of Bitcoin without this device up to a limit. So if you have a large amount of Bitcoin, let's say $50,000, you can keep your Bitkey device in a safe deposit box at a bank and set up the daily limit to maybe $5,000. That way, something bad happens, you're forced at gunpoint to transfer Bitcoin. You can't transfer 50,000, you can only transfer 5, because in a 24-hour period, that's the limit. It's extra security. So in various setups, I'm not going to go through all the ways I have Bitcoin set up in all sorts of complex ways, but some of my nonprofits I use Bitkey with, and I just set the daily limit to the limit that I typically would donate to a nonprofit. So I don't have to go track down Bitkey devices from all over planet Earth, in very difficult places to get, which I've done on purpose. I can just up to that daily limit, I can send that amount of Bitcoin up to that daily limit on a daily basis without having to worry about the Bitkey device itself. So let me know if you have any questions. Here to help on all of this. And that is a completely set up Bitkey. And as soon as we are off of this, I will transfer a free $100 of Bitcoin to Judson as a thank you. Thank you for doing this, Judson, for free. This is just a bonus. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Thanks.